Welcome to the Buy Nothing Rebellion. I want you to do something for me today. The next time you walk into your shop, I want you to stop. Before you touch anything, just stand there and listen. You feel that? That silence, that calm that drops on your shoulders the second the door closes behind you? Most of us go to our shops exactly for that feeling, and then we immediately flip a power switch and disturb it. Today I want to talk to you about that. I've been a power tool woodworker my whole life. Table saws, routers, random orbit sanders, drill press, joiners, planers, CNCs, you name it. If it had a motor in it, I bought it. I learned it and I trusted it. And I don't regret any of that. Power tools are efficient, they're repeatable, you can tune them, you can push them hard, and they'll give you consistent results. They let you build things that you could not build by hand in a reasonable amount of time. But here's the thing nobody talks about. Every one of those tools comes at a cost. And I'm not talking about what it'll set you back at the store. I'm talking about the silence. If you're like me, your shop is your sanctuary. It's not just a room or a place where you go to build things. It's your sanctuary. It's the place where the world goes quiet, where the phone doesn't matter, where the news, the constant noise of it, it just stops. That happens the moment the door closes. And it's not something you do, it's something your shop does to you. And for 30 years, every time I walked in there and felt that calm land on me, I walked straight over to a machine and turned it on. And just like that, the calm was gone. A few months ago, I had an opportunity to pick up a hand plane. I wasn't following a trend. I wasn't convinced by some YouTube video that I needed to learn hand planes. I was in my shop one afternoon and the power tool that I needed wasn't available. So instead of calling it a day, I reached for a hand plane that had been living in a protective sock since I bought it years ago. I think I bought that plane more because of my love for sharpening things, so I knew it was ready for the task. I ran it over a piece of hard maple, and the shop stayed quiet. Not just quiet. The silence that I walked in with, it was still there. I hadn't disturbed it. The sound of that plane moving through the wood, that soft shush of the iron, that wasn't noise. That was something else entirely. That was a conversation. Sounds goofy, I know, but it's the only word I have for it. Possibly, maybe for the first time, I could feel the wood as the tool passed through it. Now I want to get real specific here, because I know how this sounds, and I know some of you are already rolling your eyes. Great, another dude telling me to become a hand tool purist. That's not what I'm saying. Give me a minute here and let me explain. When you push a hand plane through a board, you can feel things. You can feel when the grain direction changes. You can feel when the iron needs sharpening before you ever look at the blade. You get this information through your hands. And I learned that for 30 years, power tools never gave me that feedback. Same thing with chisels. When I'm cutting dovetails, and I want to be clear here, I'm learning dovetails. I don't claim to be an expert. But when I pare through the wood, I can hear whether my chisel is sharp enough. A sharp chisel barely makes a sound. The wood just seems to slide aside. A dull chisel fights you, and the sound that you hear, that tells you that it's fighting. Power tools never give me any of that feedback. Now let me be fair, because you know I try to be fair. Power tools are not the enemy. I'm not standing here telling you to sell your table saw. My table saw is still in my shop. My CNC is still right there, and I'm going to keep using them. They do things that no hand tool can replicate in the same time with the same precision. Power tools have earned their place in my shop, and they'll be keeping it. What I'm pushing back on, I guess personally, is my own assumption that I've held for 30 years. That more power, more motors, more efficiency, that was always the answer. I'm finding out that it isn't always the answer. Sometimes I'm just making more noise. I've said this on the channel before. More tools don't make you a better woodworker. I think it's time to add something to that. More power tools, they don't make you more connected to your work. And sometimes, not always, but sometimes the opposite is true. I spent 20 years on the coast of California, and I'll tell you something about standing on the beach with the waves coming in. There's a quality to it that I've never found anywhere else. It's not just that it's serene, it's that you feel connected to something old and big, something that doesn't care at all about your to-do list. The ocean doesn't care what happened at work this week, and you feel that through your feet and on the sand. There's a real connection there. I think that's what I'm getting from my hand tool. When I run a hand plane across a board and feel it respond to the grain, when I hear the sound change as I approach a knot or grain direction, I'm connected to that piece of wood in a way that my DeWalt DW375 will never give me. I'm not just processing wood, I'm having a conversation with it. And I think, can't really prove this, just telling you what I feel, I think that connection might be part of why we build things in the first place. It's not about being efficient. It's not about optimizing our workflows. It's about making something with our own two hands and to feel that it's real while we're making it. Your shop is a sanctuary. Hand tools, I think, are an extension of it, not a replacement for what you've built. An extension to the silence, the calm, and the stillness. Before I keep going, if this is landing for you, drop a comment for me and please let me know. I read every single comment. And if you're already a hand tool woodworker and you're watching a power tool guy stumble his way into your world, I'd really like to hear from you. I have lots of questions. Which brings me to something I want to say straight. I'm not a hand tool expert, and I want to be honest with you about that. I've spent 30 years around power tools. I know them very well. Hand tools, well, I'm learning. I'm coming to them with decades of woodworking experience behind me, but with real beginner questions about a lot of it. I'm going to share what I discover as I go in my videos, and I'm going to tell you when I don't know something. That's always been the deal on this channel. Honest woodworking, honest craft, no agenda. That doesn't change just because I'm the one learning. So here's what I'm asking of you today, and I'm not asking much. If you've been a power tool woodworker, I'm not asking you to change everything. I'm asking you to try one thing. Next time you're in your shop and the mood is right, and assuming you have the tooling for it, don't flip that power switch. Instead, pick up a hand tool, pick up a hand plane, a chisel, or a handsaw. Work slowly. Try to feel what's happening. Feel what the tool's doing. Listen to what the wood is trying to tell you. Pay attention to how the silence in the room is affecting you. That's the experiment. Maybe you'll hate it after 20 minutes and hand tools aren't for you. Maybe your station in life enjoys the noise. That's a fair result. But you might discover, like I did, that you've been going to your shop for the silence, the calm, and the stillness, and then disturbing all of that silence the whole time, and learning that possibly there's another way. The older I get, and I suspect a few of you know exactly what I mean, the more I understand that the point of being in my shop was never really about the project. The project was the excuse. The shop is the reason. And if you can find a tool that keeps you inside the shop's silent sanctuary while you're working in it, well, that tool is worth more than anything with a motor. I don't think I could put a price tag on that. If this video said something you've been thinking but didn't have the words for, please drop a comment. I'd really love to hear it. If you want to come along on this hand tool journey, hit that subscribe button and we'll figure it out together. Till next time, friends, peace, love, and sawdust. I'm out.